Hey, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day so far. I want to start by saying thanks for 200 subs. I'm over that number now, but this build has taken me a hot minute to do because it's rather large. I wanted to do something fun for 200 subs to kind of just celebrate a little bit. And if you're new to my channel or if you've been here for just a moment, I have been doing a series of career tiny homes. So a lot of my builds lately have been super small, under 100 tiles. Most of the time it's 64 tiles because that's like the sweet spot for tiny homes. For this build, I wanted to pretty much go big or go home. You know what I mean? I really wanted to get in here and just have fun. I have not put a Tudor build on my channel at this point. I thought that would be so much fun. I absolutely love the way they look. They're beautiful homes, very old and regal almost. I mean, that's where my brain goes with it. I started this build about a week ago, and it's just taken me a long time to kind of get there and get it done in between doing all the other stuff. So if you are new here or if you haven't heard me say, I am a mom. I've got 2 kids. So life is rather busy constantly. They keep me super busy, so I build when I can, post videos when I can, and this build was no exception. I had to kind of just come in parts and build when I could because it was such a big build. But I mean, I'm totally here for it. I had a lot of fun doing this build, and I did have a reference picture, which, boom. And so that was more so for me to kind of get an idea of how this should look. I didn't want to go too small, didn't want to go too big. But if I haven't mentioned it, if you've seen at the bottom, I had a 200K budget. I didn't want to go over 200K. That was kind of like my little challenge. That was my little challenge. Let's do this big house and keep it under 200K. And we did it. I honestly didn't have any doubts. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to spend it all. But you know, when you start cluttering and adding in plants, those plants are expensive. There's some like 600 simoleon plants. Crazy. We definitely get it done in the end. So kind of fast forward just a little bit. I've used that beautiful get together paneling. I've even used the brick and kind of went around, placed windows mostly in the front. Usually I do the other windows later. I kind of try and just get the front part looking the way I want it to look. I have to say, I really love this like bluish gray color scheme that just kind of ended up happening. It's mostly just looking for everything to match. Tends to be easy to find white windows and brown windows. And so I went white with it. And I guess I could have gone brown and like darkened this up, but I really like the almost coastal feel that it has being white and like that grayish blue. Obviously not a coastal home, but it just gave really like nice calm vibes. I used the floor plan of the reference picture that I showed you and just kind of edited it and made it a little bit of my own. But it's really nice sometimes to like take the brain work out of it. I've already got this really big space and being able to like have that help to break it up. It's really nice. I always suggest if you're like in a slump and you can't figure out a good floor plan or a good build to do, it's always great to look them up and kind of get a reference photo if you just want help like what it should look like on the outside. But if you need help with floor plans, I would always suggest to go find an actual floor plan and it'll help you get better with making these floor plans. Looking at their floor plan becomes a suggestion and it gives you better ideas of how to lay things out. This ends up being like a 5-bedroom house. Technically, I make it 4 bedrooms. However, I do use one of the rooms downstairs as a study, but it has a closet in there. So, you know, regulation, it would be a bedroom. And then I want to say there's 7 bathrooms in total when all is said and done. There's a half bath in the walkway where the laundry room and garage are. There's a full bath, 2 full baths downstairs, one being in the hallway and the other one being connected to the master bedroom. I took this little outside bump out and made a little greenhouse, little attached greenhouse. I thought that was a really cool vibe. And just a little something extra, something fun. We didn't need the extra space in the kitchen. It didn't need to be a bedroom. You could easily turn it into like a sunroom and put patio furniture on it, although I put patio furniture outside the back doors. I wanted this build to feel modern on the inside, not like overly modern, but a very like classic, clean, minimalist feel to it with some updated pieces. I hope that makes sense. This is the master bath, and I don't always get to do huge bathrooms. Usually in these tiny homes, they're like a 4-tile, 3-tile bath. They're lucky if they get 6 tiles to a bathroom. But this one, I went ahead and made it nice and large. In the kitchen, I went ahead and used Home Chef Hustle. I absolutely love it. I've been using it a lot lately, so I'll like tone it down. But bringing in that like modern, updated feeling to this house, it had to be Home Chef Hustle. And I end up sticking with the green swatch. It's blue right now. It does turn to green. And I kind of overlap the little cabinet pieces and make like a little pantry corner thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but I thought it looked really nice. Added a little like something extra of interest. Now, pay no mind to these giant diner seats. I thought of like a breakfast nook. I thought that would be really fun. I don't end up keeping it. It was just too big and bulky. So we end up going for a little bit of a smaller table. We end up going for this smaller table, and I think it looks really good. It's a nice little breakfast area. So I've gone ahead, put some flooring down, just trying to lay out each room and put a little bit of wallpaper in there. Having that little extra detail, like having the wallpaper set up that you want to use or that feels right, makes a difference. So you're able to get in there and finish decorating and building that space up with a clearer point of view. This is the master closet. So the master bedroom closet. I decided to go ahead and use Dream Home Decorator, give them some nice built-in moments, a very good walk-in closet vibe. And I end up deciding to go ahead and make this little nook a little area for you to come try your clothes on. It's got that little platform that you can step up on. Just a really cute little moment to have a fun walk-in closet that not necessary in The Sims, but fun to have. Then for the master bath, I definitely use that big corner tub. I just think it's fun. I end up putting it on a little bit of a platform just to bring it up a notch in almost like elegance, you know, like fancy schmanciness. I guess I think platforms are fancy. I don't know. And then you've got a really cool like double sink moment happening. I really like the way this bathroom turned out. I like how open it is. Like I said, I'm so used to tiny homes at this point. Like having a big bathroom is just kind of iconic in its own right. Go ahead and use a Strangerville front door. It's really pretty and ornate, and I was here for the ornateness of it all. All right, now we're getting into the master bedroom. I modern luxe kit this all the way. Sorry to be the robot here, but I just had so much fun using the modern luxe kit. It's one of the best kits. There's a handful that are really great, but I absolutely love modern luxe. Little sitting area, and I end up putting a vanity and a dresser and just try to decorate this place to really be a cozy, comfortable vibe for your sim who lives here and partakes in using the master bedroom. I go ahead and raise up the modern luxe mirror onto the dresser just for like an added vibe, right? Like it's not a vanity. However, to have this really great mirror sitting on your dresser, it just added some height to the room, and I think it looks really pretty. That archway is from Industrial Loft Kit, and it's my favorite. It's so pretty, and I think it really fits the vibe of the master bedroom. All right, at this point, we are spending money and just putting columns all around, kind of just coming outside and edging everything up with columns to add that paneling look, to really bring it through and around to the rest of the house. I've also added a couple extra windows at this point. It still does change. You know, sometimes you sit with things until you decide you like it or you don't. The little greenhouse, I obviously used the Greenhouse Haven kit, but I used the mesh windows for it, which I thought was a fun vibe. I never use that swatch, but it seemed like the perfect time to do it. Now is the fun part of getting in here and getting to decide who lives in these rooms. So this room is my teenage sim. I end up going for a planty green vibe with this sim. Shocker, right? I love green. I've said it a million times at this point. But doing this little room was a lot of fun. The bathrooms, I kind of will ignore a little bit because they're very cookie cutter. What's used in one is used in all. The only thing that changes is like a little clutter. That's kind of the thing that changes, but you're gonna find the same toilets, counters, sinks. It's literally all the same. My thought with this house of being almost like minimalist was that the bedrooms are where these kids get to express themselves a little bit more. And then they have a game room upstairs that is just an explosion of color and fun. That's where they really get to be themselves, right? This room right here is the twin room. Or, I mean, it could be just a single sim room as well. And they just have an extra bed in there for when your friend has sleepovers. Whatever that looks like for your gameplay, it could definitely just be one sim. But this room was big enough for the possibility of just having 2 twin beds in here. And I absolutely love this swatch on this little bed. It's high school years and it's so pretty. I've never used it before and I think it's gorgeous. It reminds me so much of macrame and I love macrame. I have quite a few pieces and I've made a few pieces and just super fun. Nice busy work with your hands, right? And so that's kind of where we dove into this. This room stays very beige, but I really like it, which is such a surprise to me because I am not a beige girl. However, this room is a whole vibe, and honestly, it's probably my favorite room in the entire house. The only thing that was a little weird about this room is that tiny little bump out that felt like it was too much space to add to the bathroom, but it was also too skinny to do much in. So I just put a bookshelf in there so your sim can just go grab a book. Super simple, but it was the best way to use that space in my opinion. Now this is the spare bedroom upstairs. I keep this one really scaled back. I end up changing the swatch and it's very like white and gold in this room. Suitable for any guest, any situation, or even a sim. If you have a big enough family, it could easily turn into like a grandparent suite, a mother-in-law suite, whatever that looks like for your gameplay. But it was just nice. It is the smallest of all the bedrooms, which is why I turned it into the guest bedroom, because you've got these other 2 bedrooms up here that are just gigantic. I wanted to turn this lofted space turn it into like an actual lofted space with a fence, but the roof kept glitching in and giving it outside lighting. It was really weird. Even when I scaled everything back, it darkened up in here a lot. And I have that problem in the living space where it gets darker. I end up putting some windows in there and it just stays really dark. And it's pretty in the daylight. It looks like a lot of natural sunlight's coming in, but for whatever reason, it just gets dark and it's fine. Your Sims are good. It's just a little darker and that's okay. Things like that happen. It's The Sims. It's not perfect, but it's still really pretty. Now at this point, we have pretty much all the wallpapers down. I used the decor to the max in the green bedroom. This is the Crystal Creation Celestial wallpaper in the twins room. Now this is our game room. So I wanted it to have everything under the sun. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I am such a maximalist. It's crazy. How did I ever think that an arcade was going to go in there and that giant floor game? It doesn't. I have a tendency to just grab and pull. So what that's going to look like is as I'm scrolling, I see something that I want to use and I'll go ahead and take it, put it over to the side, wherever it's going to be, and come back to it and use it when I'm ready. I use the high school years cubes and cabinetry to create my own little entertainment center. So that way your Sims in this game room have lots of storage space for everything that they could imagine, need, whatever that looks like. So I put board games in there and little magazines and speakers and headphones and just clutter it up really cute. You'll see it in a minute. And we've hopped down into the master bedroom, just cluttering it up, adding all the nice Dream Home Decorator stuff, the shoes and clothes. And I do end up using clothes from high school years and from Horse Ranch as well to really make sure that everything was different in the Sims closet. I've used that really pretty paranormal wallpaper and that pink swatch with the gold. It really matches everything. I tried not to like jump around a whole lot, but you know, it doesn't feel like you're jumping around, and then you speed it up 7 times and you're like flying through everything. I spent like half the time in this build cluttering and adding pictures and curtains and rugs and plants. It was kind of insane when you think about it. Like, this house was pretty much done, right? And then it just took me forever to clutter every single room. No regrets, but it was definitely a labor of love. Yes, it was definitely a labor of love to go in here and clutter each and every room. I had a lot of fun doing it, but maybe I'll be excited to get back to my tiny career homes after this. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to put on that wall, so I really do keep it simple and use the Modern Luxe shelves and just put a little bit of clutter up there. I take those pretty Modern Luxe pillows, alt place them, raise them up, and just add a little something extra to the sofas. Just gives it that little oomph, you know, just add something so that way they look a little more homey and decorated. At this point, I'm just kind of going through some kits and adding things into the garage. I use like the Basement Treasures kits. I use a little bit of Strangerville and just trying to go through, add a bunch of clutter because I wasn't sure at first what I wanted the garage to look like. I thought about making it into a gym space, but in the end, I put some debug cars. Also, I was kind of running out of money, so we used some debug vehicles and put them in the garage, and you'll see that in a minute. And I do have clutter in there to make it feel like a little bit of a storage space. At this point, we've added some more clutter into the master bedroom and that suite. I changed up the sitting room just a little bit, kind of swap things around, and then I like the flow of it a little bit better. Definitely keeping this room pink, gold, and beige, very neutral colors, but very girly still. I also used the beautiful Crystal Creation little jewelry boxes on top of the little dresser. I think it's super cute. Adds a little something. Now we are in the game room. I really like this space because the rest of the house is very almost neutral in a way. It's very calm colors, not overly decorated in my opinion. This room gets to be fun and colorful and a little crazy, and it didn't matter exactly what it looked like up here, just that it was a fun space that you'd want to come hang out, game, do your homework, bring your friends. And then it ended up being probably a better thing that the lofted great room wasn't fenced over so that you could see into that living space, because I'm sure those kids in that game room get a little crazy and get a little loud having fun with all those games. This is my little laundry room. I love laundry rooms in The Sims. You don't need them. They're not necessary. Not everyone likes to play with laundry in The Sims, but I liked being able to put laundry in The Sims. I think it's always just a really fun, it always ends up being a nice little colorful moment. I tend to use Jungle Adventure wallpapers in almost all of the laundry rooms I do because I think the colors just suit really well. And it's nice to have that tile in a laundry room. It's just a little cute little moment. In the garage, I decided to go ahead and use brick as my wallpaper to emulate what's going on the outside. Almost like this room isn't like plastered. It's really just a brick garage. And then it's got concrete flooring. I do change the flooring up, but I kind of go back to that quintessential concrete color because it is just a garage. Now I'm going through debug and finding which vehicles I want. What kind of cars would these people have? So we kind of go for like a small little SUV. We go for a sports car, and then I find a really cool truck, and I use the truck as well. So they got 2 cars in the garage and they have one outside parked in the driveway. I also tried to use vehicles that had a little more detail to them and didn't look so dulled down. Got into For Rent, used the water heater and the fuse box just to add a little more element of this being a real garage. And then I had to use the broken down heartbed. Where would I be without it? It's such a good throwback to the original Sims. Just a fun little thing to have in the game in general, even if it's not their real heart bed. I decided what this space needed was a little half bath. This little walk-in mud area was just too big, needed a little something extra. So I create a little half bath so you walk in from the garage into the mud room. You can either go to the laundry room or you can go to the little half bath, which felt very real to me. I absolutely love the way the little greenhouse looks. I think it's so pretty and just, oh, I love plants. I love plants. I love green. And so the sun is just shining through these little mesh windows so beautifully. I just think that this whole little room is such a vibe. Really great for your gameplay. I do only put the 4 pots in there. The rest are just already planted plants. But you can always take things out, add more in if that's what you needed for your gameplay. In the cool little game room, we add some lava lamps because I feel like they're quite necessary. I also, if you didn't see it, use the Party Essentials TV, which I think is really fun. It's got the LED backlighting on it, so just adds a little something extra to the room. And then if you can kind of see, I put a lot of clutter into that built-in entertainment center. I mean, you've got controllers and speakers, fitness stuff, you can crochet, you can knit, literally just anything that your Sims could think of wanting to do, I tried to put in those areas. Obviously, you can't play board games right there. I was going to put the Don't Wake the Llama game upstairs, but I just couldn't give up having the arcade machine. It was perfect and the colors fit and I had to have it. And so you don't get Don't Wake the Llama at all. I was going to put it outside, but I still get rid of it, and that's fine. I did the same with the chess table. I was going to put a chess table outside, and I got rid of it. You don't need a chess table. You need a patio space and a pool. This was a fun moment to be able to come in here and just add a bunch of posters to the wall. Like I said, all the rooms are very pulled back, scaled back, even the kids' rooms. And so this is their area where they get to just go crazy, have fun. So I put posters everywhere. Whatever you think might interest your sim, I put it on the wall, including the Minecraft poster. Now we're getting into landscaping, and I kept this really simple. I just take those little small bushes, the hedge of blue flower bushes, whatever they're called, shrunk them down one, and just kind of alt placed them and basically edged the house in them. Added a really pretty floral aspect without going overboard, but I definitely love the way it ends up looking. And we put a lot of them. It's a lot of money spent, but we are getting down. I, at this point, have less than 2,000 simoleons left. There are some things that lost value as I went in and out of game. And so I do end up making sure that my value stays at 200K. And I think we did a really good job. We pulled it off, honestly. I have some fun stuff back here. I end up having this really nice, a little sitting area with a grill. I put that pretty tree from the movie Hangout Pack that has the lanterns, and I put a little artist area under there so you can go and paint. And I love the way this house turned out. We are getting into some finishing touches. I'm just going to straighten up some stuff back here. We are going to put down some terrain paint. I'm going to put some lights up. I had to sell a couple things to put lights up so that way your house wasn't pitch black at night. It's going to be pitch black at night. Not though. I change it. So there is a little bit that will change. Not a whole lot. We are pretty much done with this 200K house. We're going to go ahead and jump into these screenshots. you like this build. If you do, you can get it off the gallery. My EA ID is katxthrash, just like the name here on YouTube. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, keep coming back for more. I really appreciate every single one of you watching this, hanging out with me, and letting me have fun in The Sims and you be interested in it. Thanks for 200 subs. I hope y'all have a great night wherever you are. Bye, y'all!